can't press buttons. Whoops, sorry. So it looks like we've got Daniel Ginchard and Jeff Michiels on the front row, Danny van Ruijten and Ollie Pilker on row 2. Well, Dan Ginchard, I think, was a little bit further down the order when I quickly spoke with him on the pre-grid, wishing him the best of luck. Vilgot Edquist, Mike van Vught, Tom Reinarts, Danny van Dijk, Maurice Schmeis, Sem van Til, Tom Adams, Schoenemakers, Mulat, Schuring, Giuseppe Fico, Max Stemmerdink. We've got Klus, Gianni Andrisani, Christiansen, Lokmelis, Zanen, Rielitz, Thiel, Janssen, Rielitz, Thiel, Boysen from the UK, Janssen, Scherbinskas, De Wit, Mikhailov, Sorankov, Hansel, Schuring, Bergstein, Peters, Kosteins, Rosen, De Prenta. I know that there are 34 drivers on this grid. So it's the first of 2 formation laps, so it'll be, well, looks like formation lap, and we've got a late runner, well, late addition to the party. So they're just getting the rolling start formation. So it's Jeff Michiels and Danny van Ruijten on the front row, Ollie Pilker and Dan Ginchard on row 2, with Vilgot Edquist and Mike van Vught, Tom Reinarts, Danny van Dijk, Maurice Schmeis and Sem van Til. That is the top 10 of the juniors. 36 in total, fully subscribed for the kickoff. Red lights are now on the starting gantry. So it's Michiels on pole. Van Ruijten will be on the outside of row 1 with Ollie Pilker, Daniel Ginchard, Vilgot Edquist, Mike van Vught, Tom Reinarts in his Junior Max debut in 7th alongside Danny van Dijk, Maurice Schmeis and Sem van Til. We now go into the final stage of the rolling start. Couple of stragglers at the back, but are we going to get the red lights going out for a start? No, full start. Race control not happy with that one. Oh, we got a clash and a spinner at the back of the field already. So everyone went charging in, and it was a bit of a, oh, it's a bit too late for that, guys. It's a full start, and someone went, oh, I didn't want to do that one. So it's a restart, so the full grid order will be Jeff Michiels on pole, Danny van Ruijten in 2nd, Ollie Pilker and Daniel Ginchard row 2, Vilgot Edquist, Mike van Vught, Tom Reinarts, Danny van Dijk, Maurice Schmeis, Sem van Til, Tom Adams, Lucas Schoenemakers, Louis Mulat, Maurice Schuring, Giuseppe Fico, Max Stemmerdink, Valentin Klus, Gianni Andrisani, Oskar Christiansen, Patrick Snows Lokmelis from Latvia, Lars Zanen, Kai Rielitz starting in 22nd, Luca Thiel, Callum Voisin all the way down in 24th, so the Brits got some work to do in this first final. Dirk Janssen, Scherbinskas, De Wit, Mikhailov, Sorankov, Hansel, Schuring, Bergstein, Peters, Kunsten, Rosen and De Prenta. Red lights are on for take number 2. For the second start of this first Junior Max final of the BNL Karting Series kickoff. It's now a slow crawl towards the tram lines. Will we get the red lights going out for final number 1? Yes, we do. And they stream down 3 abreast at some points going in. And there's someone is very brave around the outside of turn number 2. That could be Danny van Dijk if I'm very much mistaken. 2 wide going through turn 3, turn 4. Oh, someone's gone very wide coming out of turn 4 and touches 2 wheels on the right-hand side. So very close. That person lost a couple of positions in the meantime. Yellow flags going into turn 6. 3 off. 3 off at turn 6. 1 in the barriers. And the driver is trying to pull the cart from the barriers to try and get going again. Meanwhile, the rest of the field, all 33 of them are making... Oh, we've had more clashes at turn 7. 2 spinners involved. 2 carts clashing. Dan Ginchard looks to be in 5th position at the minute. So the British has already lost 1 position already as well. Make that, he's been passed by Mike van Vught, the BNL Karting Series champion for Junior Max last year. So the Dutchman already flying in the initial foray, but Ginchard is closing right on the back bumper of the Dutchman, heading down into turns 1 and 2. Oh, there's a brazen move up the inside that looks to be Vilgot Edquist from Strawberry Racing, up into 2nd, having got past Jeff Michiels. Great move by the Swede. So absolutely fluid up the inside. Van Vught looks to have lost out to Ginchard in the process. Ginchard back up into 5th where he started a couple of laps ago. Jeff Michiels looks to be now in 4th position. As Ollie Pilker from Poland and for Dan Holland Racing hits the front. So up to from third goes the 2:43 into the lead of this race. And there's Ginchard and Van Vugt trying to muscle out. Oh, Van Vugt, and it looks like Jeff Michiels have come together out of turn 9. What a disaster. Van Vugt's bumper gets thrown off by one of the other karts who narrowly avoids it. Van Vugt in drama already. And that's only lap 2. We've still got 8 minutes plus an additional lap to go. Mike Van Vugt, and it looks like Jeff Michiels came together coming out of turn number 9. So that's going to be yellows coming out of turn 8. And Van Vugt, I don't think will carry on in this one. That's a real disaster for the young driver from Voxum in the Netherlands. And, yep, he's walking away from the car a bit disconsolate there. Real shame for the 201. So that's another 2 karts eliminated. We thought the war of attrition was going to happen in the latter finals. It's already happened in Junior Max, and we're only 2.5 minutes in. Looks like the carnage could continue, but it just depends on how quickly people do avoid. So green flag's now waving, coming towards turn number 10. So at the moment, it is Vilgot Edquist now hits the front. So Vilgot Edquist started 5th, now leads it. And that is ahead of Danny van Ruijten from the Netherlands. Ginchard gets past Pilker for 3rd. And Tom Reinartz in his Junior Max debut in BNL is absolutely charging like a Brahma bull. He's up into 5th place already, having started in 7th position. Did the 2:37 from GKS Lemons Power. He captured the BNL Minimax title last year, a title that also went into the hands of Kai Rilatz. Just seeing where Kai is at the moment. He is now up into 18th position. As Ollie Pilker now loses out to Tom Reinartz, who now moves up into 4th. This is getting incredibly anticipational here. But Ginchard is closing on Vilgot Edquist, having deposed of Danny van Ruijten from the Netherlands. 6 minutes 13. Ginchard is in the tow. He's going for it. He's pulling alongside. Is he going to make the move stick? Oh, he goes very wide. In the mix comes Danny van Ruijten. Tom Reinartz trying to steal 3rd. Pilker goes up the inside of the 2:37 going into turn 3. This is absolutely brilliant. Danny van Dijk also there in the mix. Top 6, you cannot separate them. This is going to go all the way down to the wire. But Ginchard from the UK finally hits the front and starts to pull away from Vilgot Edquist from Strawberry Racing. So the youngster on the SFR Motorsport Ralf Schumacher chassis on the treble 2 now leads the first Junior Max final, with the biggest casualty being Mike Van Vugt in the 201. So we're coming up to half race distance here in the first of 2 Junior Max finals. Their second one will be at 5-3 this afternoon. And the pace is continuing unabated here, but Ginchard has a gap. It's going to be at least 2.5 tenths. Make that 3 tenths, maybe even nearly 4 tenths. As Tom Reinartz goes up the inside of Danny van Dijk to retake 5th position going through turn 2. Nice work from the 2:37. Ollie Pilker on the back of Vilgot Edquist going through turns 3, 4 and 5. The Polish driver on the Dan Holland Racing chassis goes up the inside of Vilgot Edquist, goes back into 3rd position. Nice move from the Dan Holland Racing driver. Tom Reinartz is trying to go for 5th as he's battling away with Danny van Dijk. Retakes the position going into turn 7. But all the while, this is just absolute lunacy. I thought it was going to be Banzai moments ahoy. It's more than just that. It's absolute pandemonium here in Junior Max in the BNL kickoff. But Ginchard is still trying to pull away. So other drivers making moves up the order. Callum Voisin now up from 24th into 13th position, as Ginchard's gap between himself and Danny van Ruijten was around. Oh, Pilker's gone up the inside of Danny van Ruijten into turn number 3. So nice work from the Polish driver. He's done a really good job getting in there. He's come alive in this first meeting that I've seen him in this racing season. Tom Reinartz has pulled away a little bit, I think. And he's ahead now of Tom Adams. Tom Adams now up into 6th position. Danny van Dijk now down into 7th. Meanwhile, Morris Schmeitz is a little bit of a dark horse, the youngster from Germany. He's currently sitting in 8th position as it stands. We've had no penalties issued as of yet, but they're trying to keep it cool, calm, and hopefully in this fast increasing heat on the track, with the action unabated, the top four literally line astern. Ginchard, Pilker, Van Ruyten, Edqvist, Reinartz, Adams, Schmeis, Van Dijk. There's more moves happening up and down the order. There's some great slingshot moves happening into turns 1 and 2, a little bit further down the order, just outside of the top 10. Drivers will have to be very, very wary of track limits, but the gap between Dan Ginchard and Ollie Pilker, where is that? Dan Ginchard's down into 4th now. Ollie Pilker's now retaken the lead. So Pilker now hits the front. Ginchard in 4th, and he's got Tom Reinartz on the 237 behind. Right on the back bumper. The train from second to effectively 5th position is absolutely line astern. You cannot put anything between them at this moment. Edqvist is in 3rd place behind Danny Van Ruyten, but closes up coming out of the final corner. And Ginchard and Reinartz will get a bit of a tow there. And I have to say, good defensive moving there from Danny Van Ruyten to block off Vilgot Edqvist there. And this is allowing both Ginchard and Reinartz. And I tell you what, Ginchard is looking absolutely menacing there. He has got the bit between his teeth. He goes up the inside of Vilgot Edqvist to take 3rd position back. Here comes Tom Reinartz on the 237. Nearly pulled alongside Edqvist, coming down the back straight into turn 7. Couldn't make it stick at the moment, but it is still all to play for. We're fast approaching the last 90 seconds plus an additional lap. This is absolutely mad. Absolutely mad. Vilgot Edqvist nearly loses out to Tom Reinartz coming out of turn number 9. So that could have been 4th from the 237. Pilker leads. Van Ruyten in 2nd. Ginchard back up into 3rd place ahead of Edqvist and Reinartz. And also, well, Tom Adams. It's now another Brit in the top 6. Tom Adams is looking pretty menacing right now. He's right on the back bump. Well, he was pretty much. He's actually got past Tom Reinartz coming through turn 2. And it looks like we've got yellow flags coming towards the lowest sector of the track here. But Pilker is leading and he's starting to pull away. But I sense and I see Daniel Ginchard from SFR Motorsport now up into 2nd position. Yellow flags are out at turn number 10. So no overtaking, lads. Oh, and that is the 297 and Zanen. So Zanen off at turn 10. Meanwhile, at the front, we have 34 seconds on the clock. Ollie Pilker from Dan Holland Racing continues to lead from Dan Ginchard from SFR Motorsport. Then Danny Van Ruyten in 3rd and is looking to be very close to the rear bumper of the Brit. Meanwhile, looks like Tom Adams has got past Tom Reinartz. Yes, he has. He's now up into 5th. So 2 Brits in the top 5. So on the next tour, it's going to be 1 more lap to go. Ollie Pilker now leads by about 0.6 of a second from Daniel Ginchard from the UK. Then it's Danny Van Ruyten. Vilgot Edqvist now down into 4th position. Tom Adams in 5th, with Tom Reinartz really showing what he's made of in his first Junior Max competitive outing in 2019, having progressed from Minimax last year. Great showing from the 237 from GKS Lemons Power. So, final lap it is. Ollie Pilker will cross the line. What's the gap between him and Dan Ginchard? 4/10. Ginchard took 2/10 out of him that last tour. And with them is Van Ruyten, Edqvist, Adams, Reinartz. That's the top 6. Danny Van Dijk and Maurice Schmeitz are having a little battle over 7th and 8th position. But Reinartz is closing on the back bumper of Tom Adams for that 5th place. So Edqvist, I think, is sizing up Van Ruyten, but has to go to the outside, heading into turn 7. He'll carry some more momentum through into turn number 8. Tries to go for the inside, can't get past. As Van Ruyten closes the door, Adams nearly stole one up the inside of turn 9 on Edqvist, who's trying to go and carry that momentum through turn 10. And it's allowing Adams and Reinartz to close. But I tell you what, Ollie Pilker might have done enough. They're going to come through the final couple of corners. It is going to be, I think, pretty much a win for Ollie Pilker in the 243. He takes the win for Dan Holland Racing. Great job by Dan Ginchard to recover back into 2nd, less than 3/10 off. Nice work by Danny van Hoyten, who started on the front row along Jeff Michiels, who had that unfortunate carambolage with Mike van Vugt on the second lap off of turn 9. But Ollie Pilker wins Junior Max final number 1. And if that is anything to go by, oh, you haven't seen anything yet. Ollie Pilker wins Junior Max final number 1 ahead of Dan Ginchard from the United Kingdom, with Danny van Hoyten from the Netherlands in the 208 taking third. Vilgot Edquist from Strawberry Racing finishes in 4th position ahead of Tom Adams. And a great debut, I must say. One of the standout drives, I think, from Tom Heinertz. Fought his way up into the sort of like the top 3, and then managed to finish down in 6th position ahead of Danny van Dijk, Morris Schmeitz, and I have to say, one of the recovery drives this morning. Well done, Kai Gielert. Started 22nd, and on the CRG chassis, he managed to get it up to 9th position. We had Sam Van Til finishing exactly where he qualified in 10th position. Nice work by Callum Voisin from the UK, 24th to 11th in the end, ahead of Gianni Andrisani. Then Maurice Schuring finished in 13th position, ahead of Lewis Mullart on the 244. Lukas Scherbinskas rounded out the top 15 ahead of Luca Thiel. We also had Lukas Schoenemakers finishing in 18th position, Valentin Klus, and Max Stemmerdink rounding out the top 20 with Mikhailov, Bergstein, Janssen, Hansel, De Prenter, De Witt, Solankov, Schuring, Peters, Lokmelis, and Kirstens being the last of the 31 classified finishers, with Lars Zanen going off at turn 10, Jeff Michiels and Mike van Vugt coming together on the outskirts of turn 9 on lap number 2, with Giuseppe Fico not finishing, and Arvid Rosen did not take the start. So that concludes one heck of a barnstormer when it comes to Junior Max action. And it's only the first weekend I'm going to be commentating in Europe. I hate to think what's going to be happening between now and early October. Excuse me, sorry. I've got a frog in my throat. So there we go. We have the likes of Jeff Michiels. Looks like Giuseppe Fico is also on the flatbed along with Mike van Vugt. So 3 of the drivers that unfortunately retired, either through a mechanical or obviously the coming together between Jeff Michiels and Mike van Vugt on lap 2. I think that was one of the race-defining moments, but great job by the likes of Pilker, Ginchard, Van Hoyten, Edquist, Tom Adams, Tom Heinertz, Danny van Dijk, Morris Schmeitz, Kai Gielert doing a great job from 22nd to 9th at the flag. So the young Belgian, whose mum, dad, and obviously I spoke to him yesterday as well, and he's really happy, really enjoying the new change for 2019. And this could be something very, very exciting for the youngster from Belgium. I'm looking forward to seeing how he gets on this season. Of course, he'll be one of the regular names that we'll see in the BNL karting series, along the likes of Mike van Vugt and quite a few others, including Tom Heinertz as well. So that's the halfway point of the first set of finals here at the BNL karting series kickoff here at Karting Genk, home of champions. The sun is still continuing to shine here on Sunday afternoon. Local time now, 12:50. So if you're watching or listening, so if you're watching the live stream, thank you very much for tuning in. If you're listening on Downforce Radio, the nation's